Do women truly prefer bad boys? All right, this is the comedian Godfrey, and we have Nick Cannon and Neo. That's who I can recognize here. There are also 3 other men on the stage here that I don't recognize. The audio is not that great, but it says brutal honesty from the Council of Men. Men, we need counsel. We need to help each other because everybody else is telling us how to do it, and we're letting the simps run wild on the internet, on Al Gore's internet. But let's hear what these men are saying of how men are traumatized early in their development, in their mate selection. All right. So then what happens is they get a broken heart early, and this dictates how they treat women later. Interesting commentary here, but Neo, Godfrey, and Nick Cannon, plus some other men. Here we go.
A nice guy did finish last a lot of times.
But I've been both guys. I've been the nice guy, and it didn't work.
And I stopped
the bad boy, and it didn't work. Right. But of the two, the bad boy always works a little more.
So women are women attracted to toxicity?
Young women. Because you gravitate toward what smells familiar, and if you come from a household where machismo and all that is around you, you unconsciously feel safe in that.
Yeah. And that's what you learn from peers too, because you watch your boys, you go, man, he's an ass. So I think I'm gonna do that because high school happened to me. I was the nice guy, man. I was like, get her flowers. My mother's like, that's good. I did all that, and I got doodled on, and I was like, that will never happen to me again.
Man, we gotta I think that's happened to all. That might be the origin story of our toxic masculinity. I was the poem writing, flowers in the locker.
To me or not to me.
And then when I saw her go for the bad boys, I was like, fuck these flowers.
And it worked, right?
And I was like, I would never be heartbroken again. I never want to feel that.
And it hurts. And man, we can't take that.
Right? I'm glad I thank you for that, because I think we just grew from that a little bit.
All right. All right. The audio was terrible in that. Somebody recorded that right off the TV. Can I have the original clip? I guess I would probably get it. What's going on here with my banner? I guess my banner is going to be messed up for the editing purposes. There is a lot of truth in that, and unfortunately, it is true. So the men started to say, does being the bad boy help, or being the nice guy? Do women like the bad boys? Now, the women in the audience said only the young women. The young girls, the little girls. So they said, no, it's not older women. It is younger women. Now, they don't realize that fucks them up. That is still doesn't help the equation. So she says, once we get older.
And that's you.
That still is not good. So the women tried to pass that buck. It ain't us. It's not the older and the mature and the sexy women. It's not the women with multiple baby daddies. It's not the women with Dayon and Keandre. It's the young girls. And so they were like, okay, great. That's great. All right. We're still going to lean on this because this is where a lot of young men's trauma originates. And this is why then men discover that the bad boy strategy is better. So they tried to pass that buck and not take responsibility. But then the guys came back and said, well, that actually helps our case. Because when we were younger, we tried to be nice. We tried to pull out chairs and bring teddy bears, and we tried to bring flowers. And then we saw y'all go with the bad boy, the young girls. Then those men that got their heart broken, crushed, end up saying, how do I become better with women? Then guess what? They start watching dating coaches and pickup artists and Max and Crooked Tooth, Blacklit Play Us movies. And it told you, be Casanova, be a player, lie to these hoes, cheat on them, have a rotation, spin plates, trick them, run game, don't pay for a date, give her motherfucking McDonald's. So guess what? Yep, she tried to deny it and push that buck, but she ended up telling on herself. Then that makes, thumbs down, huh? What made guys more pursue the player angle was their early lack of success with the young girls. So then they start hearing guys, never be the nice guy. Nice guy finishes last. You ain't never going to get no pussy being a nice guy. So this does happen to, wait, not that. That doesn't happen to a lot of men. All right. But this does happen to a lot of men where they experience early failure. And then they see you were the shoulder to cry on. And she's crying on your shoulder saying, I be getting my insides pushed to my esophagus by this guy. He don't care about me. He never calls me. He never talks to me. He never beats me 911. He just fucks on me. Meanwhile, you just trying to get a little bit of punani. You like, I'm trying to get a little bit. And then you try to reach for her titty while she crying on your shoulder. And she's like, no, you're like a friend to me. You're the nice guy. You'll be handsome one day and you'll get all the girls when you're 37. Right? And then you're like, wait a minute. If the guy that keeps getting the punani, because when you're 16, you just want to fuck. That's all you want to do. So you're like, wait a minute. The guy that you're giving your body to, that you're crying on my shoulder complaining about, that you will give me none, that's the guy that you keep running back to. So now you're 16, 17, 18, 19, and you deal with that for years. You just out here losing. You're like, okay, I'll take a girl on a date. You take your last $50, take her on a date, and she does this. Thank you, nice guy. Thank you, you goofball. And then you see her out here partying and clubbing and going for Pookie and Dayon and Glocktavius. And you're like, and then guess what? Only a matter of time before you fall into, okay, how to be a player, how to run that ism, how to be Casanova, how to Mac, how to cheat on these girls, how to spin plate. Then you eventually will fall into that because that's what works. She giving you the circle hug, the church hug on the back. She's circling your back like this, and her pelvic is pushed back like this. Thank you for the date. Turns her head. She turns her head away from you like this, as to not kiss. Don't kiss me. Circle. Good boy. Right? So you do that all the way up until 25. And these girls are like, oh, these guys ain't shit. They just want to fuck on me and doing this. Like, I'm tired of this shit. Yep. Pelvis all pushed back. She trying not to put her titties on your chest. She's like, yeah. All right. What the fuck? All right. And then you see her at the club throwing it back on Keandre. And you're like, so again, this is what they're talking about. Now, people will deny it, but our teenage years and our early 20s do define how we behave in our mid 20s and early 30s. It does. All right, it does. Unfortunately, people don't want to, oh, it's just all your old days. Y'all can't get over it. No, it matters. If you enjoyed this clip, check me out on the Free Agent Lifestyle channel for the best morning live stream every weekday. And of course, we're back for the evening live streams as well. Check out the times in the featured channels on this channel right here. And also the links are in the description box. I will see you there.
New world order.